Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about how to be a great artist overnight in 24 hours. Just between you and I, there's going to be a lot of people that might tell you, excuse me, there's no formula for how to be a great artist overnight. And frankly, this is what I say. Those people, they're reasonable. Those are very reasonable people. But here's the problem. Reasonable people aren't artists. Those are your bankers. Those are your accountants. So this is how to be a great artist in 24 hours from an artist's perspective. Rule number 1, buy things you don't need. We all know as artists that we have a hole in our little hearts that can only be filled and satisfied with fancy brushes. So what you want to do is you want to go down to your local art store and have a budget in mind to buy fancy art tools. When you get there, plan on spending 3 times that budget, because the mark of a great artist is to frankly go and see that screen printing equipment is on sale, and then you buy as much of it as possible, knowing full well you're never going to use that stuff. Rule number 2, you need to find a little bit of your crazy. And what I mean by this is you don't want to spend all your effort working on your arts discipline and your skill set and really not look the part or act the part. So what you want to do, and you pay right here, pay attention. You want to develop a little bit of a twitch to make it passable, so that when people see you and interact with you, they say to themselves, that's an artist. Rule number 3, use big words. So we want to practice using words like ratio and balance. And I tend to practice on my morning cereal bowl. I look at my bowl and I say, you know what? The color and the tone of the sugary milk as it swirls, it's very, what's the word? Symmetrical. Stuff like this. Again, act the part if you want to be a great artist. It's not worth it otherwise. So, rule number 4, live extreme. You want to live in extreme conditions. This helps round out your backstory as a fine artist, okay? So for me, I lived in a tent in the middle of the woods for 2 years, and this helped me greatly. It established my background as a believable fine artist, but it also helped me get a lot more experience with critiques. You know, I'd be working on an experimental piece, and I'd call forth all the local critters in my forest, and they'd come to my little hut, and they would give me notes on my pieces. But I digress here. Live extreme, look the part, be the artist, commit to it. The next rule, confuse your relatives. So most of you probably already know what I mean by this, but if you don't, here's the deal. If your aunt is proud of you, you're doing something wrong. So what we want is we want a 9-year-old niece or nephew to be patting you on the back during the holidays and telling you things with confidence like, adults, they don't understand us. That's good. That's good. That's what we want. That is the mark of greatness for artists. So if you're in that direction, then good. If you're sitting at the big boy table with all the adults, you're going in the opposite direction. Rule number 6. And this is the last rule, but it is as important as any of the other ones. Make videos. You do not want to be wasting your time painting plein air paintings in your park or practicing symmetry in your studio. What you want to be doing is smiling down the business end of a video camera and praying that the feeling demons don't catch up to you today. I'm broken inside. So that is how to be a great artist in 24 hours overnight. And here's what I mean. You don't really even need 24 hours. You can check off most of these little to-dos in 4 hours, and then you have 20 hours to spend on getting fancy lattes. Now, if you're sitting here and you're thinking, what about practice? Isn't that important? What about the discipline itself? Here's what I would say. You know how many artists are practicing out there right now? Most of them. Thousands, millions. Most of them are practicing. Most of them aren't great artists. Thanks for watching the video. I will see you in the next one. I can't wait to hear just how great you've become since then.